Hi, today my guest is artist, poet, and lecturer Lida Sherafatmand. She has exhibited in over 20 countries, and I want to thank her very much for giving me this opportunity today for this great interview. First of all, could you please briefly tell me about yourself and your works, Lida?
So I had created my first drawing when I was 3 years old in wartime in Iran. My hometown had just been destroyed during the Iran-Iraq war, and I had this vision. I saw this image of the sun singing and the angels dancing and sending flowers to people. And so from that very moment, it had become a question in my mind: why do people choose to destroy each other's homes rather than listen to the sun singing and being friends with each other? And then later on, at the age of 19, I took art as my main subject of study. I went to art school, and I was engaged from that time with human rights topics. I was creating posters for Amnesty International. In 1999, 3 of the poster designs that I did for about the rights of women and against the abuse of women were used by Amnesty International, and that's how I got involved. I wanted my art to be an active part of society, basically.
So in here, so you're a refugee, right, from Iran. So maybe in the early years of your life, you have seen different life conditions because of being a refugee. So how did being this refuginess affect your or shape your vision as an artist? How did it shape your profile as an artist?
Yes, excuse me. So the experience of a refugee, basically inside Iran, we already had to change city when our homes got bombarded, and then afterwards we left Iran. So that was another experience of moving. The way it shaped my art is that I had to adjust to the different conditions that humans live in. So let's say the change of social status in the place where you are, the change of perceptions that people would have of you as a person, the sense of identity that we form. So all these questions made my art in a way go deeper and deeper in a way that I can transcend all these levels of separation between people to reach a core where there is a connection between us all. I think that is one main point how it shaped my art, the experience of the refugee life. I mean, I'm not, let's say, a refugee today because now we are settled, but the experience of it, it shaped my sense of identity as a human being, how identity is an ever evolving phenomenon, and that it is a human identity that I wanted to reach so that I could connect to people in the world. Yeah.
So far, you exhibited in like around in over 20 countries. So how also we know that still in the Western world there is a gender discrimination. This is a really tragic thing, but even the Western and the developed countries sometimes see such things. Men are paid more compared to women, or there is some kind of even maybe a small level of discrimination, but sometimes we see this. So as an artist and also as a woman, and so you were before you were a refugee, how old did you become very successful, because you exhibited in over 20 countries? So how did you challenge with these problems as a woman, the gender discrimination, maybe the identity crisis? So did you see, what kind of problems did you see?
Yes, indeed, it has been a very, very challenging journey because, as you said, even in the most, let's say, Western countries, there is still, unfortunately, a level of discrimination when it comes to female artists also. I mean, if you look even at the art market, the statistics, the last one that I had checked, I don't know what it is today, but until just 2-3 years ago, it was 5% female artists and 95% male artists. So that's a very big discrepancy. And one thing which I noticed was that if somebody from the, let's say, the art establishments or these mainstream galleries would see my artwork, they would comment, "Oh, but this is very soft and feminine." And they would say that, like with a but, so as though it's a problem. But in all the past 23 years that I have been exhibiting, not even once I have heard the phrase, "Oh, but this is very masculine, this is too masculine." So an artwork which has a masculine expression doesn't come across as an obstacle, but an artwork which has a feminine expression seems to be an obstacle. And I cannot understand that, because if having a gendered expression in an artwork is a problem, then it should be a problem for both genders. Why only for the feminine gender? So that was one thing which also made me want to insist more on painting flowers, because flowers are very often associated with the feminine expression.
Yes, in this point, I want to ask you about the concept that you coined in 2016, florescencism. Maybe I cannot pronounce it.
Yes,
So could you
it's correct, florescencism, yes.
define this concept? What is it? So you are the first person who used this term in the artistic works.
Yes, so the word fluorescence means to flower, to flourish. So in biological terms, it's when the flowers start to grow with several branches and flowers. And then it is used metaphorically in many cultures, like you say, a person is flowering, or a civilization has flowered. So the fluorescence of a civilization. So I thought it's a very good word to use, because it brings under an umbrella all the research which I have done in my paintings and the intention that I put in my paintings. Because as you would know from my biography, I also studied international relations. This was another reason for being taken seriously as a female artist, because presenting paintings which were, let's say, soft, and being a female, this one, she's just a dreamy little girl, So I had to bring in some concrete knowledge, and then they wouldn't be able to discriminate me from that point of view. So florescencism is in a way grounded in the studies that I did in about human nature, how our human nature plays a role in our relations with the outside world, both as individuals and as communities. And how we can transcend conflicts in a way which makes us flower rather than destroy ourselves. So I also try to incorporate this spirit in the paintings that I create.
Yes. So this you use this concept as a way to overcome the obstacles, or
Yes, exactly. And I am very, very joyed to say that in the past year, due to this whole crisis of pandemic, some millennial artists have liked this concept. We resonated about this type of thinking. So together with them, we developed this idea of florescencism further, and we put together a manifesto of florescencism. Art manifestos have come along history many times. So in this art manifesto, we sort of put forward a proposal as artists how to face the post-COVID world. Nowadays there are many conferences being held by politicians, by ministers. They're all putting forward their proposals. The financial sector, they're all putting forward their proposals how we can face the post-COVID world. Yes. This is our proposal as artists, how to face the post-COVID world. Basically, increased level of self-awareness and allowing beauty inside our hearts. And our minds to help us flourish. and also making use of the new fields of knowledge, energy psychology, energy medicine, neuroscience, neuroaesthetics. We try to make use of these new fields of knowledge to enrich our works. And this links me a little bit to what today a press release came out regarding paintings at Oxford University they put for patients who have cancer. So
yes,
it's a little
I would
bit,
also
just to do a bit about that.
Yes, I would also like to ask about this. You also did some fundraising activities, like charity for the cancer people infected with having cancer. So at this point, I want to ask, what do you think about the role of art in overcoming such diseases, deadly diseases, and what did you do as an artist to help the ill people with cancer, for example?
Yes, when we hear songs, whether they are in a language that understand, or it's a sad song or a happy song or an angry song, so by instinct we can always feel that the state of being of the singer. With paintings, it's pretty much the same. The vibe of the painting, the viewer can catch, whether it is, a sad one or a happy one, a calming one, or one which gives you anxiety. So I do lots of meditation when I am painting, so that every brush stroke is done with a focused mind and with a focused heart, and that in a way incorporates a certain vibe in the painting. So when I created these paintings, I wished that they can have a comforting presence, and a presence which can bring grounding and strength to the viewer. And usually people who are facing cancer or any other terminal illness would be going through lots of turmoil emotionally. So this is what I try to do with these paintings. I mean, anybody who's going through any challenge could benefit from some calming presence next to them, but especially people who are undergoing cancer. Regarding the fundraising, it's the Worldwide Cancer Research Foundation. So when I sell some paintings for them, I offer 50% for their research charity fund. The funds are used basically for the research which is being done on cancer. Yes, so that is it. But also the new fields of knowledge which I mentioned regarding energy psychology, energy medicine, and neuroaesthetics, the knowledge that I learned from them, I try to also incorporate in the images that I create. Let's say the fractalization of the shapes and all that. They have those are then some technical details. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I just received a note from Nadege. So also the audience will see in the YouTube her name is here. So they will just be curious who is Nadege. So she also sent me a note saying that the press release that we shared today with the media. So there's a press release that you shared about this cancer research press release donation, right?
Yes, right. Today, from the University of Oxford Cancer Research and Nadej, they released the press release about it. So, the staff members of the hospital and the patients felt that there is a calming presence with the paintings being hung there. And I am also hoping that this might encourage more formalized research later on. There are some universities in the US who have started doing like scientific ways, using scientific methods of measuring, let's say, effects of paintings. I'm hoping that later on some researchers also in Europe would like to have more formalized studies about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, as we have like 10 minutes, so I have some other questions. But before my last question, maybe because finally I'd like to ask you your last verse. Do you think that art can play an important role in promoting peace or in making society a good place? Of course, you think like this, you all think like that. But as an artist, what are your, unique views, because you are performing art, you are making art. So maybe we just consume it, we just look at a painting or we listen to a music, but as an artist you produce it. Sometimes I try to write poems. I know it's very hard to produce something. Sometimes I sit down and just try. But as an artist, what do you think about this? So what what are your roles, or artists, what is the role of art in making this world a better place for living?
Yeah, I think I mean artists have different approaches. Personally, my approach to problems is to encourage ways forward rather than just regurgitate about the problem, or let's say express anger and frustration about it. I mean, I respect artists, let's say, who just let's say express anger about a situation, but personally I'd rather focus on a reaction or a response which encourages a state of mind that can move forward in that challenge. And that is why yeah. Pardon?
Constructive approach rather than destroying.
Exactly, more constructive. Let's say we were receiving news about children who are starving of hunger in Yemen due to the war situation. It's very easy to paint a child who is suffering from hunger, but we already know that everybody already feels bad about that. So I'd rather come up with insights in my paintings that can open a space in our mind. How can we move forward so that they won't suffer anymore, or that they would suffer less? And this is why I like integrating knowledge from the academic science, from social sciences, because those are the people who are studying the situation. So the knowledge is more in-depth and the insights are more informed. And that's why also I appreciate your work as a journalist and political science postgraduate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I try to do some things as our in the last part of our discussion of our chat. I want to ask you about your future plans. So due to the pandemic, maybe are the exhibitions online currently, or where will your work can be seen? Where can the people see your work, or what are your future plans?
Yes, unfortunately, all the exhibitions, physical exhibitions, have been cancelled since last year. So my works, like most other artists, are just being available online. Two projects that I am working on, however, is one documentary feature film, which tracks the life story of how my paintings developed back from when I was 3 years old in Iran, and I did that first drawing until today.
Like autobiography.
It will be autobiographical, yes, and it will show how this whole concept of florescencism came to be. And the other project is actually a ballet dance that I wrote based on an essay, on an academic essay that I had written called Internal Worlds, External Relations. This essay explores how our internal experiences as humans, states of being, of anger, of joy, of compassion, of wisdom, how do these influence our relations with others as countries, communities, and as individuals? And I translated those to dance scenes because I painted those states of being, and every painting scene is going to be changed into a dance scene. So there is a good ballet choreographer in St. Petersburg who is working on the choreography. Obviously, things are slowed down due to the pandemic, but hopefully by next year, these projects will also take off more.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah. So far, how many personal exhibitions were performed? So in over than 20 countries, maybe some of them were collective works.
Yes, I had, if I'm not mistaken, I've had about 50 collective shows and about 20-25 solo shows. And nowadays there are also the international art fairs are the part of the collective ones. And the solo shows, they have been at galleries, at the President's Palace, let's say in Malta. I had at the museum in St. Petersburg, at the London School of Economics and Political Science. Yeah, they have. I have luckily or happily managed to integrate some of my exhibitions with institutions which are part of social science,
because
part of the academic world, I mean.
Yes, London School of Economics is a very distinguished institution, so this will make your work more visible, and yes, it's very
in 2014. Yes, in 2014 I had the exhibition there, and I delivered a public talk about this essay, Internal Worlds, External Relations, the one which is going to be turned into a ballet. And it was very interesting to have this panel discussion. There was a commander from Navy war commander from British Defense Ministry, and a war journalist from the BBC, who came to discuss with me. And for me, that was a very important moment, because as a flower painter and as a female artist, these two men who had a position, let's say, in the warship, and the other one is a war journalist, they took me seriously enough to come and discuss with me and have a look at the flower paintings. And this is why also I try in a way to help bring more gender balance through my paintings, because I want paintings which have a feminine touch to be just as valued and respected as paintings which have a masculine expression. Genderless paintings are also okay, of course, but if there is a problem with any gender, it should be either with both or with none.
Yes, there must be equality. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you very much, Lida. So if you have any words to add, I would be very happy, and we are in the last minutes. Again, I want to thank you very much, the artist, poet, and lecturer, Lida Sherafatmand. Yes,
thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Just I want to excuse myself because you know, I've just traveled recently, and I had a long quarantine due to the regulatory obligations. So I'm not in a very good shape. Maybe I can send you a better photo and a better background for the video, if the video is going to be shown.
Yeah. I'm gonna upload this recording, but for the pic, there is a picture you put on video on YouTube as the cover picture, but generally they will see like this thing, but it seems quite okay. I think it seems good because natural, so we are looking for naturalness.
I mean, I just didn't get a chance to prepare. So please don't feel like I didn't know it was with the video. I thought it was just a voice.
Voice call. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. We talk with Nadege like this, but I think it's all fine. So I can put it. I think.
Okay, I mean, if I may send you like a photograph to put instead, or maybe I can change the background, so all those boxes wouldn't show.
Right now it's impossible, but before starting you could change it from the settings of Zoom. But at the moment it's impossible. So
okay.
But I think it's fine.
All right. It's fine. All right then.
Thank you very much, because you gave me your time, and I appreciate this opportunity, Lida. I'm very happy to meet with you. And I'm also excited to see some of your work. I have read some of the interviews of you.
Thank you so much. Oh, one of the co-producers for the documentary feature film that I'm making is a very nice Turkish lady in Istanbul. So I have that link also with your country. And I was there in 2018 in the city of Niğde.
Yes, I know the city.
Yes. So I took part in a collective exhibition also there at the City Museum of Niğde. Yes.
Niğde.
It was Art and Peace team, in fact. Yes.
I'm very good to hear this.
Thank you so much, and I will be very happy to keep in touch whenever you like.
Thank you very much. Yes, that would be great. If you want, I would be really happy to meet with you again. Thanks a lot to you, to Nadege, and I'm gonna end the meeting. Thanks a lot. Bye bye all.
Thank you. Bye bye. Nice day. Bye bye.